I like clothes. You know what I don't like though? Being broke. Take a look at these two images. Take a guess which one I like more. Go on, take your time. The answer? I don't even know. I did just want to mention that whoever's been praying for my goddamn downfall, you won. I'm sick again. And it's only been 3 months. I see a lot of content online of people buying expensive pieces like Acne Studio jeans or any item from Balenciaga or Rick Owens, and it can be quite tempting to also want to go out and purchase those pieces as you are being introduced to them. At the end of the day, it is fun to go out and buy new pieces which may be able to mix up how you dress yourself in future. But when I'm faced with a $500 price tag for some jeans, then I start thinking, do I actually need these pair of jeans? I'm broke. When you're not able to afford these expensive items, there are a ton of ways you can cope. For starters, if you can't buy the item, it's good to just take inspiration to begin with. It is better when you're able to it does help to try on the item. I'm going to go have a mental breakdown. Now, it does help to try on the item of clothing first so that you can gauge how the item feels, what kind of style the item gives off, and it gives you the general sense of how you want to direct your wardrobe or your style moving forward. Then, when the time comes, you can either save up to buy the particular item of clothing, or you can buy alternative items. Going into the subject of finding alternative items of clothing, this is a good way of coping without needing to save up for what may seem like an eternity. Take a look at these jeans. This one is a loose fitted pair of jeans that fit around the waist. Pretty straightforward, right? And then take a look at these jeans. They are a loose fitted pair of jeans that fit around the waist. It's pretty straightforward, right? Now, what separates these two is that this pair over here is a $600 pair of Acne Studio jeans, and this pair here is a pair of $70 Levi's Stay Loose jeans that I bought from a Boxing Day sale, and I made a whole ass video about them. The price difference is quite massive. Minus the chance of buying them on a Boxing Day sale, the Levi 568 Stay Loose jeans would cost around $100. And if you compare that with the $600 pair of jeans, huge difference, and they give off a similar style. Now, moving on to a different example, take Fear of God. They sell some expensive items of clothing. Take their shirts, for example. If you like the fitment of their shirts but cannot imagine spending $450 on a t-shirt, then you can look to their sister brand Essentials. They sell clothes with the similar fitment, but it's for a much more affordable price. Now, personally, I haven't bought anything from Essentials. It is important to buy these items of clothing if they fit within your budget. Moving on to a little bit more of the frugal side of things, if you wanted to find cheaper alternative clothing for an item that you aren't able to afford, you can definitely look towards thrift stores or any sort of third-party selling websites such as Deop. However, if you are going to buy from Deop, I'm going to suggest that you lock in. I swear to God, Deop is a battle royale for all the vintage clothing haulers out there. You gotta be on top of that stuff. It is a frenzy. Buying secondhand is probably the lawful good of buying alternative clothings. And if you want to know what is the chaotic evil of buying alternative clothing, that is replicas. I swear, the amount of gaslighting you have to do to think that buying a replica of an item you can't afford is insane. How do you sleep at night knowing that you have committed such an atrocity? Who are you trying to fool with your Louis Vuittons? I can see the process in someone's head to justify buying a ripoff of a designer item that they can't afford. I can see it. but it is definitely not worth it. It is better to either save up your money or buy an alternative. This is just the mid reminder to let you guys know that I'm still sick. Please show me some support. Someone help me. Now, going back to the very first coping mechanism that I mentioned before alternative clothing, and that is saving up your money. Now, before you start yapping away about how that is so obvious and that everyone knows that, just hear me out, because I have to bring it up for many reasons. If you are an impulse purchaser, then your savings is probably your number one up right now. You know those Fortnite gamers who, when they're running with their squad and they see a red marker on their compass and they immediately disband the crew to go and 1v4 the squad and they get immediately downed? That's you. That is you if you impulse purchase. Not a good idea. Savings gone. Don't get me started if there is a sale on a store that you frequently visit. People will justify spending a bunch of money on items that they don't necessarily need or wanted to begin with, but because there is a 50% off tag on it or even a 25% off tag on it, they'll justify it. And that is essentially a big waste of money. You don't need it, bro. If you ended up saving up your money, you might come across a sale for that particular item of clothing that you originally wanted. And good news, you can buy it for cheaper. Hooray! Congratulations. And on the other hand, if there is no sale and you save up your money for it, by the time you have enough to buy the item, you may realize you don't want the item anymore. Then that's okay too, because you have been money maxing and you can use that money elsewhere. There's essentially no bad outcome from saving, apart from maybe the item of clothing that you're wanting becoming obsolete and no longer being made forever, lost to the essence of time. But it's okay, because there are a ton of items of clothing coming out all the time, and I'm sure another one will take your eyes just like the last piece did. It's gonna be okay. There are some topics that I have left out, such as using a line of credit to purchase items of clothing. I'm not even going to go into depth, but that is a bad idea. You should be using line of credit for things that are essential and that are important. Not Rick Owens. It's not that important. I just kind of wanted to come here and shed some light on the coping mechanisms of not having enough money to afford items of clothing that everyone flaunts online. Important to know that buying clothes is not that deep, but just because you see someone buy a pair of Rick Owens does not necessarily mean that you also need to buy a pair of Rick Owens. That is going to be it. Again, I'm sick, so apologies for the nasally voice, and I hope you guys enjoy. If you guys liked it, please show support. If you have any comments on other coping mechanisms that you guys try, please let me know. I could have talked about a couple more, but I would have been yapping for an eternity. And right now, my little lungs don't got that dog in them. Also, check out this jacket that I got. Look how cool this jacket is. Ready? You wouldn't believe it. I'm going to turn around. And guess what? There's another zipper. Epic. That is cool. Anyways, goodbye.